After victories in the season openers, both Michigan and Michigan State were in action this weekend. The Spartans at home to take on Boston College, while the Michigan Wolverines were on the road to take on number 18 Oklahoma. How would Spartans QB Aiden Childs perform? Would Wolverines QB Bryce Underwood be able to stand tall against stiff competition? For tonight's College Rewind, we start in Norman, where the Sooners were driving towards the goal line against the Michigan defense.
Red zone, not an area of success last year for this Oklahoma offense. Pop pass, Burks, turns the corner, D.O. Burks, touchdown, Oklahoma. What a drive to start this game. Another throw in the middle of the field, and it's intercepted. He overthrew a man of T.J. Metcalf's waiting for it. Michigan football here. And off and running. Haynes in the clear. Justice Haynes in a foot race. They will not catch him. Michigan, lightning strike in the first play of the half, 75 yards. Mateer running all the way. Gets free, Mateer. Touchdown, Oklahoma. That drive was all on the quarterback. Sherrod Moore returning to his alma mater. Comes short tonight. Could not contain John Mateer.
I think for us, we'll watch on the film, right, and really gauge and see what we need to get better at. You know, I thought on defense, you know, the adjustments in the second half were really good. We got tackled better on defense. I thought there were some missed tackles that we made, and then offensively, just the overall execution. You know, when you play offensive football, one person misses here. You have an unexecuted play, so we got to do better at that.
30 yards to set up first down at the 41. Play action. Childs looking, taking the shot towards the end zone. Marsh is there, and he's got him. Turn him up, Nick. Touchdown, Spartans. 41 yards.
Or backs and man coverage nearly as well as in the NFL.
Richard up the middle. Gets away. Richard to the end zone. Touchdown. What does Childs have in store here at home? Design run. Childs up the middle for the touchdown. It's Aiden all day in East Lansing. Play action. Childs for the win. Got it. Amari Kelly sends the Spartans to 2-0. Revenge as they take down Boston College.
We wanted that game. We needed that game. We faced adversity. I don't think it's a great football team we just played against, but they didn't have any adversity last week. So it's just, you know, it just came out to see who was the tougher team, and today we were.
I think it's a step forward. He found a way to win it like this. Again, this is game 2. We're hoping to play a lot more games beyond just 12 type thing, and so it's early. But again, we talked about, you know, confidence can come from, you know, displayed performance, and these guys did it tonight, and hopefully their confidence continues to grow from it.
Positive comments from Michigan State head coach Jonathan Smith, but let's start with Michigan. And Pat, your reflection on the game against Oklahoma, what'd you think?
Well, I thought Bryce Underwood was underwhelming. I thought their play calling was horrific. Dull, not creative, didn't really give chance. It looked like Oklahoma knew it was coming before it was coming. They did not stretch the field enough to take away from that. They just kept creeping up. You know, I thought defensively they did okay. They held everybody except for Mateer. So it's kind of like a basketball player that scores a lot of points, but nobody else really did.
Right.
But also, you know, it asks the question, do you really invest $3 million a year in a freshman quarterback, true freshman quarterback, or you go out and get a transfer who was 1,766 in his high school class and, you know, and is getting $300,000 less to play? These were 2 top 10 college-paid athletes in this country against each other, and the experienced guy was one. If Mateer was playing for Michigan, they win.
Yes.
And if Underwood was playing for Oklahoma, they switched, they would have lost. So to me, that was the key to the game.
You know, Pat mentioned it, John, the offense not opening up a lot more, and he's got a strong arm, Underwood, so why not? Does he have the receivers he needs?
No, and he's all those portal guys in next year are going to see this guy and say, yeah, we're coming to Michigan. So that'll be so. But for the offseason, but no, they coached scared and they played scared. I mean, they coached scared. The field goals, the punting from the other team's 30. I mean, that's, you know, that's 1980s kind of, you know, game management, and that's been an issue with Sherrod Moore here now. You know, going back to last year, some of the game management stuff wasn't good. But yeah, I thought they coached scared, and the players looked like they were playing not to get beat too badly. And that's not the way you go in and try to win a road game.
Is he too much of a, hey, let's get back to the 3 clouds and
yeah, I mean, there's some of that. There's some of that,
but
but I mean, some of it's just clock management and game management stuff. And then, look, I thought they would unleash Bryce Underwood in the run game the way Mateer was. I mean, Mateer had how many carries did he have? And it wasn't there. It wasn't there, and it's still like they're protecting him. And they didn't do that in the first game. I was surprised at how much.
Well, he's
going to
have to. Look, he is a prodigious runner.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they didn't use him more. He had one nice run, and on a scramble, but he just no designed runs, no RPOs.
The offensive line was an issue coming into the season. It wasn't fixed in week 1, and it looked even worse, especially after El Hadi went out. That's going to be an issue all season, probably.
Well, we'll see what they can do next week against Central
But
Michigan.
look, if you got Gardner, or not Gardner, Underwood,
yes.
and you tuck, and you pull back, it's going to freak out the
play
defense.
action.
It should work.
Exactly
the old hey, man. All you got to do is fake, and you got to throw the ball, even if it's incomplete, down the field. They did one time, and he threw it ridiculously long, and then the other time they completed it.
I agree. One guy who was throwing the ball was Aiden Childs.
Exactly.
Okay, now they beat Boston College 42-40 in double overtime. He took a big step forward, John, I think. His stat line says it. 19 for 29, 231 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
And no interceptions, which is how they lost the game at Boston College last year in the rain. No, that was a huge game for him, especially the way it ended with him sort of winning the game for them. But it was, as we're talking about this, I mean, that was one of the things Jonathan Smith said after the first game, is like, we didn't get any explosive in the pass game. We need to be more aggressive. They were, and lo and behold, it worked. Nick Marsh got the ball downfield. Omari Kelly got the ball, and that played to their strengths. That's what they need to do, keep doing.
You know what? I talked about the difference in wide receivers. Pat, Nick Marsh and Omari Kelly, if they were playing with Bryce Underwood, it'd be huge, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. But I have to give my good friend John Nio here, because last week I was waxing poetic about Underwood, and John goes, pulls the old Lee Corso. Not so fast, my friend. And John was right. I mean, Aiden Childs, I just didn't think he, come on, I want to see it, right? I saw it.
Yeah, and it was good to see.
And defensively, they got a lot of work to do and all that, but the gap between Michigan and Michigan State is obviously closer than what we anticipated. And that should be a lot more interesting game.
Should be a really fun game.
All right, well, next up for MSU, Youngstown State at home. Look for them to maybe go 3-0, I would think. All right, guys, let's move on. Really, something that happened recently.
That limb is creaking. Woody stepped out on that limb. They're going to beat Youngstown.
I did.
Woody, man,
it's a very solid limb, Pat. I'll just say that.